Okay, so this past weekend, I watched this little movie that came out on Amazon Prime called The Tomorrow War. Now, The Tomorrow War is that movie. I knew about it for a while. It's a movie starring Chris Pratt, and it's sort of like a time travel type alien action movie. I checked it out this past weekend. I really liked the movie. I'm going to talk about it. Okay, so this movie kind of jumps right into the plot of the movie. It starts off with Chris Pratt's character, which he's like a school teacher, family man. Later on, you find out that he is like a retired military person. He's seen battle, he's seen military action and stuff like that. But as of right now, he's just a retired school teacher. He's all into science. He's a big science guy. But they're having like a little party at his house, and they're watching like a sports game. I think it's a soccer game, I want to say it is. I can't remember if it's soccer or football, but it's a sports game at a stadium. Now, in the middle of this sports game, a big portal opened up. All of these soldiers come out this portal, and they give this announcement that in the year, as like 50 some years, 70 years in the future, the Earth was invaded by all of these aliens, and the aliens has pretty much killed almost everyone. There's only about 500,000 people left on the planet. So what they want is they want help from the present day, and the kind of help that they want is they kind of created this time portal, and what it does is that it can transport people from current day to that time in the future, but they can only stay for 7 days. It'll transport them to that time in the future, and then at the end of their 7-day term, it'll send them back. So what they started doing is they started doing this mandatory draft, drafting people to go fight in this war against these aliens. Now, the reason why it's 7 days is because for some reason, after 7 days, the aliens kind of hibernate. They kind of hibernate. So they do the whole thing at 7 days. They figured that during that time frame where the aliens hibernate is the time frame that they bring the people in, and then they'll attack while the aliens are hibernating. Now, this is where we get Chris Pratt's character. He gets drafted, so he has to go. So he gets drafted, he goes to this facility, and they got all of the people that were drafted and ready to go. They got them all there ready to ship out, and it's a weird mix of people. You got some people that are, that have military experience, but you got a lot of people that just look like regular Joes, store owners, teachers, moms, all of those kind of people that look like they have no business going to try to fight somebody's war, but they're all in this room. They all gets teleported to the future. But during this teleportation, something happens, and, half the people, or maybe even more than half of those people that was teleported in this group dies. They die. They got teleported, and instead of them landing like 5 feet off the ground in a certain spot, they kind of just appeared like way up in the sky, and just fell to their death. Some of them slammed into buildings and all kinds of stuff. But a group of them landed in this rooftop pool, which for some reason that was able to keep them from dying, which Chris Pratt, of course, was one of the people that landed in that pool. So the ones that were alive, they then had to go on this mission to try to save some scientists, which when they get there, the scientists were already dead, but they find some information that they needed, some information, some kind of technology that they needed to bring back. So now the kicker of this is that when Chris Pratt and his people get back to the main base, after they go through this really drawn out action sequence of fighting all of the aliens, we're introduced to the crazy looking aliens. When he get back to the base, he finds the woman that's kind of in charge of everything, and what do you know, this woman is actually his daughter. His daughter was like 8 years old when he got teleported away, but now his daughter is, a grown woman, and in charge of everything, and she's like the lead scientist, and she's trying to find a cure to kill, not a cure, but like a toxin that will kill all of the aliens, So the toxin that they have right now will kill all of the males, but the females, it doesn't do anything for the females. So what she's doing is she's kind of doing like science stuff, kind of following in his Chris Pratt's footsteps as being a big science person, using that to try to find out, how they're going to solve the problem of making a toxin that will, kill the females. So, I'm not going to spoil any more of it for you. You have to watch it. But my thoughts on the movie, I really enjoyed the movie. It started out in a way where I kind of just had a lot of questions about things. I had questions like, for example, if there was only 500,000 people left, why are they coming to the past to bring people to the future to also die in this invasion instead of going to the past, giving them the information that they need to be prepared for when the alien invasion happened? I had problems with that the whole time. And then there was a time where, when Chris Pratt's character met his daughter and they started talking, she tells him about this situation where he leaves the family. And it's funny because, in no way whatsoever, the relationship that he had with his wife, he had with his daughter, there's no way whatsoever that would lead to him leaving his family. It was kind of like a choice that I felt like was a bad choice, because I was like, I just didn't see it for how they built this character out from the beginning, but that's how they did it. So of course she had like a little chip on her shoulder when it came to him and all of this kind of stuff. But other than that, if you could overlook those things, it was pretty interesting. It was pretty fun. The aliens that they fought there were aliens that seemed like they were kind of unbeatable. It was like the aliens, as far as how unbeatable they reminded me of the ones that were in A Quiet Place series. Those aliens are pretty much unbeatable unless you do the thing that opens them up to be killed, and this was the same thing with these aliens, except they even had a few more tools, a few more weapons than the ones from A Quiet Place. But yeah, other than that, the movie was pretty interesting. They added a family aspect and a human aspect that I felt like was really unbelievable. I didn't buy it, but it's there. If you're the type of person that can buy it, you would feel, that would probably work for you, but it didn't quite work for me. I kind of just rolled my eyes at it. But other than that, I just liked it. It was a pretty good action alien movie. And, a lot of decisions was made that just didn't make sense. You just had to be like, okay, that don't make sense, but we're going there. Even the way it ended, just like, I was like, the choices that they made was like really just nonsensical choices, but it called for some action scenes, and it calls for, at the end, having a big standoff with the alien, of course, which is what you want in a movie like this. So I can't blame them for that. I just wish they would have found a better way to get there. But other than that, I like the movie. I think it's already been greenlit for a sequel. I'm not sure, but I want to say I think it's already been greenlit for a sequel. But yeah, that's Tomorrow. The Tomorrow War is on Amazon Prime. I'll put a link in the show notes if you haven't seen it yet, where you can go and check it out. But yeah, Chris Pratt, action, aliens, pretty good. You just gotta be able to kind of let your mind go a little bit for a few of the choices that they made to get to where they got to in certain sections of that movie. But overall, it was a pretty good movie. And I enjoyed it. But if you like that movie, check it out. Link in the show notes in the description below. And thank you for watching this video. I will see you next time. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. While you're here, why don't you check out that video right there? Or maybe that one right there. And while you're at it, go ahead and click that little picture of my image there and subscribe to my channel.